Hi, I'm Keaton Ellis, competitive speed solver, competition organizer, and Rubik's Cube event broadcaster from Maryland in the United States. I'm excited to say that this coming year I'm going to be working with Rubik's as a Rubik's ambassador, doing a lot of hosting and broadcasting for live and online events. I wanted to give a little bit of background information about myself for people that may not be familiar with who I am, or if you are familiar with who I am, may not know all of my background, and hopefully you guys learn something new. I'd first like to start with how I got into this. Most people, like me, started by having a Rubik's Cube on their shelf or toy closet or wherever they had their toys. Spent some time working on it, trying to make sure that it was as solved as possible, and sort of got stuck somewhere. I personally was in this exact same position. I was able to solve one layer by myself, but then after that I struggled a little bit, and I ended up using the little solution guide that came with the Rubik's Cube that I bought to learn how to solve it. The guide itself is long gone, but I actually still have my first two cubes. I have since formed them into a Siamese cube, but I still have them. It's a good memory to think back on that time when I first learned how to solve the cube. I first learned how to speed solve, and I first really got into that in 2012 when I moved to Maryland. My high school had a bunch of top-level solvers that I was really interested in trying to beat. Unfortunately, I was not able to beat them before they graduated. I was about half a second slower, but that really pushed me to continue and solve. And by the time we met up in competition a couple years later, I was faster than them. My favorite events, speed solving though, are 3x3, the Rubik's Cube, and solving it one-handed as well. I really like doing these. Rubik's Cube speed solving is because most people do it, and because it's the most competitive out there. And one-handed solving is really interesting to me because a lot of people in my life that were very close to me, both physically and personally, were very into one-handed solving, and so I was really influenced by that and tried to get to it at the top level. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of my solving. All right. I've been asked to give you guys a couple of tips and sort of break it down by beginner, intermediate, and advanced sort of tips. Be persistent and know what you don't know. Those two things are very important. Being persistent translates into having the perseverance to be able to go through any sort of wall that you're facing with cubing. For beginners, that's just making sure that you've memorized all the algorithms and you sort of understand what's going on. For intermediate solvers, it means that not only are you trying to actively improve, but you are taking the time to break down your own solves and say, where am I messing up? Where do I find room for improvement? And how can I do this even better? And at the advanced level, it is taking the initiative, making sure that your solutions are airtight, and that you're learning algorithms to ensure that the number of moves that you're taking is less every single solve, so you're more and more efficient. And I think this can apply to pretty much every level. The specifics are going to be different based on your speed and what you know and don't know, but knowing what you don't know and being persistent will get you a lot of places and get you very, very fast. Finally, as my specific niche in the community, I'm a caster. Not only do I compete at the highest level, but I like to broadcast, announce, and host at the highest level. The two main things that I'd like to highlight are from the World Championship in Melbourne.
He does do blue.
Due to my knowledge of Roux, I was actually casting the Keon Mansour versus Sean Patrick Villanueva final.
Good second block. Good CMLL.
Oh,
That's a pause.
Oh, 6-0.
He
did it. He's taken the lead.
Oh my God, he just slotted himself into first right now. 6-7-8 average. He's the first after 6.
In addition to that, I'd like to highlight my hosting of Cubing at Home. Hello and welcome everyone to Cubing at Home 5 2020. We are excited to bring you our final competition of our preseason. A bunch of cubers and I have gotten together to do Cubing at Home, which is a competition series extending into the summer, trying to make sure to replicate our large competition experiences at home. We've got a really exciting list of guests for you guys today, and so we're going to get right to that. So we'll be right back with Scube. The event really tries to bring the community together in a way that is difficult to do otherwise online at this exact moment. Anyway, thanks so much, and I'm excited to see you guys on Instagram Live today and throughout the community otherwise. Thanks so much, everyone.